So, as a part of the energetic seduction series, we are going to talk about the energetics of eye contact. Okay. So, there's a study that was here. Let me pull it up. Hang on. Oh yeah. So I want to talk about how fast people can make judgments of you, informed judgments. And there's a study done by Willis and I'm gonna butcher this. Willis and Todorov that found that people make trustworthiness judgments after seeing a face for just 100 milliseconds, which is 1/10 of a second. So that's pretty quick, right? So with this, this is the kind of the science piece behind it, which I feel like science and energy really do go hand in hand. But before you even open your mouth, like people can just look at you and decide. Like your brain is constantly scanning for safety. Like, is this person trustworthy? Is this person safety? Is this person nice? Are they kind? Or do they look mean? Do they look like approachable? You know, like your brain is asking yourself so many questions all the time. And that's why your eye contact, your eye gaze can be so powerful when you are either meeting up for a date, whether you're looking to deepen your connection with your current partner, or if you're a soulpreneur like myself and other beautiful women in here, if you're a soulpreneur and you're looking to be the full embodiment of your work and relay that to your clients without verbalizing that, this is the audio that you need, okay? So before you even open your mouth, your gaze has literally already spoken, okay? Your body carries a specific frequency, and a lot of the times your eyes are the messengers for that. So what I mean by that is, like, have you ever heard this saying where people say, oh my gosh, he stared right into my soul? Like, this person is not actually staring into your physical soul. I mean, our souls are not necessarily physical, but you know what I mean. But you can look into someone's soul through their eyes, because eyes are just like, they have so many fractals, so many fragments, and it says so much about how a person it not only views the world, but how they treat people. What, like, there's so, and there's another saying, there's so many sayings around eyes. I'm just like now realizing this as I'm recording this off the fly. But when you look at someone and you can say, like, oh my gosh, they have kind eyes, like, that's their soul speaking to you, right? Now, if you're someone who is like, oh my gosh, like, eye contact makes me so fucking nervous, I can't hold an eye gaze, I can't hold eye contact because it just feels weird, it feels like they're staring into my soul, it feels like they can hear or see or think my thoughts or whatever is coming up for you, we have to kind of move through that, because eye contact, eye gaze is a huge part of energetics. Okay? When you can hold a gaze with somebody, that shows how deeply confident you are. Now, it doesn't mean that you're just like staring at them, not blinking, and like that would be creepy. But there is such thing as like empathetic eye gazing, or maintaining majority of eye contact while you're talking to someone. Like, think about it. You know, I have a story for you guys that's coming up that needs to come through. Okay, so I was friends with somebody before, and I always felt like in the friendship that there was only space for them. Like, they would come and they would just kind of like dump all their feelings onto me, and anytime I tried to bring up something about myself, like, they would loop it back to what they feel or their situation. And to me, like, that wasn't an aligned friendship. And I remember one day we were trying to co-work together, but sometimes before I co-work with people, we talk, we get everything out on the table, and then we co-work, right? So she had her moment to express herself and what was happening for her, and gave me, like the updates on her life, and I was so happy to listen. I had full body language dedicated towards her, eye contact. I'm very good with active listening, not just like with my ears, but with my body and with my heart and with my eye contact and all of the things, right? My name actually, it's so funny. My name, Samantha, actually means like good listener or something, or listener of God or something. So interesting. It's 12:22 as I am saying that. Anyway, but what happened was as soon as I was my turn to share, she starts typing on her computer. She's sending an email for work. Now, she's typing on her computer and she's looking at me, but she's typing while she's looking at me while I am having a conversation. To me, I was just like, wow, like this is so disrespectful, because yes, she's looking at me. Her physically she's looking at me and she's nodding her head, but I could tell that she was not there, because obviously she's typing an email, right? Now listen, I'm not expecting anybody to prioritize me over their work, but it's just a little bit convenient, right? Like when someone shows up and they have the time to express themselves, but once they've gotten what they needed, right, that they're all of a sudden not holding the same space for you, right? That's not okay in any relationship or friendship, right? So this is what I mean is like your eye gaze, your eye contact, it's not just about the physical part of looking in somebody's eyes. It is about making people feel seen. Your eye contact also says so much about you wanting to be seen, right? Like I said, if you're constantly, looking away or looking down or not making eye contact, like you're not going to have a deep connection. And I know in some cultures that can be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say disrespectful, but yeah, I guess in some cultures it can be disrespectful to look in somebody's eyes and to look in someone's eyes. But I mean, if you're listening to this, like I'm assuming that I don't know. You could be in that culture, but you're listening to this for a reason. Anyway, but your eye contact, it's a transmission. It reveals presence. It reveals power and purity, like just like I was explaining in the story that I gave you, right? It can, like the gaze, the eye gaze itself can lead, it can seduce, it can soften, it can affirm, it can disarm without even a single word. Now, when I say seduce, like, yeah, like obviously you can seduce somebody with your eyes. I remember my ex-boyfriend, like he used to always be like, you gotta stop looking at me like that. And I'm like, I'm not like trying to look at you in any way. Like I was just in love with him, you know what I mean? And so that's the power of not just physically looking at somebody, but seeing them through their eyes, seeing them through and beyond their skin, right? And that is how you can like seduce your desires too. Like how have you ever looked at your desires straight in the eye, whether it's a person, a situation, a dream, and being like, I fucking see you. Like you're not hiding from me. I'm holding my ground. I'm holding my power, and it's safe. It's safe for you to remove the lenses that you have on so that you can be seen as well. Okay? Having power in your eye contact, it's not about having control or like quote unquote like hierarchy power. The power is around connection. Okay? Now, for example, in intimacy, eye contact invites deeper attunement and safety, right? Just kind of like what I explained to you with my ex. That was not that it was uncomfortable for him, like he wasn't saying it in an uncomfortable way, but there was a part of him that was being seen because he was feeling something that he possibly could have never felt before. Because all I was doing was just looking at him with eyes of love, right? And that's the thing is with intimacy, eye contact. Say you're actually like being intimate with someone, you're performing some sort of sexual activity with them, right? And you're looking them straight in the eye with deep love and deep knowing, like, I love you. I am here with you. I am present. I see you. It is okay for you to become unarmored. It is okay for you to be vulnerable here. One thing I would do is whenever I'm looking into someone's eyes, especially if they're my partner, I'm holding their face, like my actual touch and looking at them. And again, not just the physical looking, it's holding the energetic gaze, seeing people soul to soul and making your soul known and present as well. We have to stop hiding behind these lenses, behind these layers of ourselves, if we want to experience true love, true leadership. Okay, because this goes for if you're a soulpreneur as well, too. Can you hold gaze with your soul clients so that they feel seen? Or when they become vulnerable, like, are you shying away? Are you getting uncomfortable? Like that's something that you need to work through within yourself, because if you're getting uncomfortable when people are gazing at you or looking at you in the eye, especially your clients, that's an issue, right? That's an issue, because what's the uncomfortability that's coming up, the discomfort that's coming up for you? And there's so much healing that can take place, so much activation that can take place when you can hold your energetic gaze. Excuse me. And, another thing in leadership too, it's not about like having the authoritative power by using your gaze as a weapon. I want to be really clear with that. But using your gaze to hold boundaries, using your gaze to hold space and empathy, using your gaze to show your clients that you see them, right? So I want you to practice, if you're someone who has challenges holding eye contact, I want you to practice this, okay? Sitting in front of the mirror and holding eye contact with yourself. And really, truly, there is so much power in this. I've done this myself. I've recommended this to many of my clients, and every person who does this intentionally, sometimes it takes a few tries because it can feel uncomfortable at first. But have you truly looked at your own self in the eyes? Because before you hold a gaze with anybody else, you need to be able to recognize your own energetic gaze. So looking at yourself in the eyes, and what do you see? See if you can go to the mirror right now and I can walk you through it. So just start to breathe into your body, into your heart center, asking your heart with every breath to activate the messenger through the eyes. The messages that either you have been avoiding, that maybe you haven't seen or heard, that need to come through for you. And as you are looking at yourself in the mirror and you gaze into your eyes, what do you see? What versions of yourself do you see? Can you see those versions of yourself while staying anchored in the present and being the observer? No shaming, no judgment, just compassionate, energetic gazing. Can you hold the gaze without rushing to speak, to explain, or to perform? Can you pause and be with whatever your eyes are trying to get you to recognize, to see? Whatever emotions come up, let them flow through. If you need to, let yourself cry. Or if there's anger or grief that comes up, just breathe into it. Let it come up. It needs to come through. So I'll give you a moment to just be with your own energetic gaze. And notice how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself when you're gazing into your eyes. staying connected to your breath here. Good. And place your hand on your heart. And just letting yourself know that it is safe to be seen. It is safe to remove the foggy lenses. Maybe there's film over the eyes that need to be stripped. It is safe. It is safe to do so. And I want you to tell yourself, I see you for all of who you are. And everything I see, even the shadow parts, I will love it. I will nurture it. I will transmute it. And notice how that feels in your body when you tell yourself that. Can you shift your gaze to see yourself differently? Good. And when you're ready, just bring yourself back to your body, back to your surroundings. So you can come back to this audio and do this daily, because once you get into the habit of practice holding your own gaze and being comfortable with your own gaze, it's going to become, like, you're going to feel more confident to do that with other people. And you're going to start to build on the skill of how to hold your energetic gaze in different situations, because there's going to be times where your gaze needs to soften. There's going to be times where your gaze actually needs to, I don't want to use the word harden, but your gaze needs to be more intense and more anchored into a stronger energy. And so what I'm referring to with that is, like, if someone's coming at you, you're not going to soften your eyes. No, you're going to gear the fuck up. And not in like an armored way, but in a way of like sacred protection. Because again, your eyes speak for itself. Okay? Your energetic gaze is going to shift when you're with a client who is being vulnerable with you. Or maybe if you're with a client who is trying to push your boundaries, and maybe you gotta gaze up. Okay, or maybe you meet the love of your life, or you're deepening your connection with the love of your life, and you're gazing softly and gently and angelically into their eyes, and you guys both feel seen and loved. There's so much messages in the eyes. There's so much love in the eyes that can just allow your body to feel things that you've never felt before. So I want you to practice in every aspect of your life. Start practicing using different eye gazes, like the softening, the gearing up, maybe the neutral eye gaze. Okay, start to play with it and start to notice which relationships need shifting in holding energetic eye gaze. Even training yourself for, when you're just out and you don't know anybody and you're on the street, like, what's your eye gaze like then? Because like I said, and this isn't necessarily about how other people perceive you, like that's not really any of your business. But this is a part of how you're presenting yourself to the world and being open. That's why I brought up the at the beginning of the audio, like how fast people form judgments of you, and that really ties into how open your energy is as well too. Okay, you can be open but discerning as well. Okay. I love you so much. Let me know how this audio landed for you. Drop it in the community. Take up space in the community. I want to hear how these audios are serving you, and if you have any questions, again, drop them in the Q&A. Okay, sending you so much love. Have a beautiful rest of your day.